YouTube just banned all external links, including links to Patreon. How am I gonna make all me money? Okay, it's not that serious, people. What's going on, everybody? My name is Wooly, and I want to talk today about the YouTube policy involving external links, including links to things like Patreon, that everyone's been talking about today, and it seems to be getting blown way out of proportion, but I kind of want to explain the entire process of what's been going on, what news has broke out, etc, etc, and kind of explain how dumb it is. So, an article came out over several different websites. I have polygons pulled up here. With headlines such as YouTube's policy on Patreon, external links will hit new creators hardest. And this article kind of goes into a story of how YouTube has changed its policy a little bit involving external links on YouTube channels and YouTube videos. Basically, you're not allowed to use them in your videos or in your end screens or whatever. And everyone is freaking out about this because, you know, this includes Patreon, and a lot of YouTubers use Patreon, and if they can't promote it on their videos, they can't promote it on their channels, then they're not going to be able to get people to subscribe to their Patreon, and they're not going to make money because a lot of these channels nowadays, a substantial amount of their income is through sites like Patreon. Now, I've seen a lot of people freak out over this news because they're saying, oh my god, the Patreon links have been banned, yada yada yada. Okay, let's just slow your roll. So first off, it's not as black and white as everyone wants to say it is. The policy is that you can still have links in your description, you can still do all that stuff, you can talk about, you know, go check out the video description below for links to my Patreon, etc, etc, but you can't put them in your end screen, which is the last 20 seconds of the video. So there's that. You're not going to get much traffic in those last 20 seconds unless you have a really dedicated fan base already. So it's like, eh. Second of all, this only affects people who are not YouTube partners, which at this point, there's not that many people that are YouTube partners in one way, shape, or form already. The YouTube partnership requirements are extremely low. You only need to have 10,000 views on your YouTube channel to even apply for YouTube partnership, and YouTube is pretty like Oprah Winfrey style whenever it comes to partnerships nowadays. Pretty much, like, in my estimation, probably like 99% of YouTube channels could probably get a YouTube partnership at this point. I mean, unless you just started today, I mean, you're more likely going to be able to qualify as a YouTube partner. Now, that's kind of brought up the whole point, especially with the focus on this article, is how it's hitting new creators. I don't like the fact that they're focusing on new creators. Not because I've been around for 5 years now. It's not that. It's the fact that, why are you using a Patreon anyway if you're just starting out? It makes no sense if you are a new channel and you have a Patreon right off the bat. It doesn't even make sense for someone like me to have a Patreon page at this point, because I don't have the audience to justify having a Patreon page. Not only that, but at least in my case, I don't see my content or anything that I could do with, you know, my normal 9-to-5 job and trying to do YouTube and trying to stream on Twitch. I don't see any benefit that I could provide for people to subscribe to my Patreon at this point. I mean, I'll take an example from someone I know, Figcolink or DBFig or Fig from Digital Boundaries, whatever he wants to be called now. He has a Patreon page. Right now, he has 3 patrons, and this is public information on his Patreon page. I know he had more whenever he was really more active on YouTube, and he's only got 3 patrons. He only makes a couple bucks off Patreon. There's really not that much. There's really not that much to that page that he can really benefit from at this point, at least in my opinion. I didn't really talk to Fig about this, but, you know, from what I can see on his page, it's like, you know, there's nothing there. There's no, really, he's just making like 3 or 4 bucks, and if that, and it's not doing anything significant for him. So it's like, you know, why even keep the page up? You know, that's my opinion, Fig. Don't come to me and kick my ass. And just that is kind of a point I want to make is that he has a bigger audience than I do. He has a bigger YouTube channel. He has more of a following on Mixer, where he live streams, versus what I do on YouTube and Twitch. And he has a bigger audience to pull from to try to get, you know, some sort of financial backing through Patreon. If he can barely pull anything, why are people with new channels going to be able to pull anything for a Patreon page? It doesn't make any sense. You have no connections to an audience. You don't have an audience to begin with. And you're just starting out. You have no history of content creation unless you had like another channel that was starting to gain traction and then you lost it somehow. But if you're just straight up a new channel, you're not going to have a fan base to get money from, or a fan base to even justify trying to pull money from. I've seen YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and maybe they have 100 patrons. That's the type of percentages we're talking about. We're talking about a very small percentage of your subscribers that are even going to contribute to your Patreon page. You kind of have to get a little bit lucky with who donates and how much they donate. Like, right now, I only have a couple people that watch me, and, like, they really don't have the financial backing. There's a couple people that I know don't have the financial backing, that don't have the financial availability to do anything, like a Patreon. They don't have the ability to subscribe to my Twitch channel. They don't have that. So, I really have no justification for a Patreon page. And not only that, I feel like if you do a Patreon, you should provide extra content for your patrons, or at least do something special for your patrons. You know, do like a private Q&A, like a private Google Hangout for your patrons, you know, at a certain tier. Maybe you allow them to help you create your next shirt, or maybe you allow them to do this, or maybe you provide Patreon only content. You have to have the time and enough backers to do that, and I just don't see you, or anyone if you're new, having that. I don't see myself being able to do that. I mean, unless I make like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 from Patreon, I can't really put in the time, because guess what? I got a 9 to 5 to pay for the rent and the lights here. It's, you know, I have to have that income. And there's no way I can pull it with the audience I have now. So what makes anyone think that new YouTubers are going to have that, you know, just starting out? It makes no sense. There's no logical sense to it. So yeah, this whole news story has been completely overblown. I can't believe the internet is going bonkers over this. I've seen Twitter feeds that are, you know, saying that YouTube is pushing content away because of this. I mean, honestly, I'll just pull up some tweets right now. I got one tweet here that says, as YouTube has been demonetizing people en masse this month, they have needed Patreon to survive. This is an attack on creator rights. No, it's not an attack on creator rights. If it was an attack on creator rights, they would just outright block the channel, or just outright, you know, put it in restricted mode, like a lot of videos have been done. That is creators' rights starting to get restricted. This whole thing with Patreon, not really. YouTube apparently limiting ability to promote sites like Patreon. Good job, YouTube. Just keep pushing that content away. Seriously, did you not read any of the articles out there? It's just on the end card. You can still post the links in the description. It's not that hard to understand. Just tell the people to look at the video description of the video, and they'll go to it. Boom. Looks like YouTube doesn't want creators making money in any way, including Patreon, if they're not ad-friendly. That is not the point. The point of this policy is they want to make sure that the creators that they have that are allowed to put external links in the end screens and in the videos are trustworthy. And the best way they can figure out if they're trustworthy or not is to have them go through the YouTube partnership application process. I've been through it. Countless thousands, maybe millions of other creators have been through it. It's not that tough. Honestly, the minimum requirement of 10,000 views on a channel, it's not that hard. I got it there myself within 7 months or 8 months of creating my channel and posting my first video, it's not that difficult. As long as you put some effort into it and upload to maybe 3 times a week, and you talk about relevant topics, and you talk about things that are interesting to you, and you can get an audience, and you're able to get that out there, whether it be through Reddit, whether it be through Twitter, whether it be through collabs with other YouTubers, etc, etc, etc. You're going to get to that 10,000 video views within a year. It will happen for like 99% of you if you're starting out on YouTube. I mean, I did it, and you know, I was maybe making 3 videos a week, and you know, I was talking about topics that range from, you know, talking about games that I just released to just random policy and random topics that really didn't have much relevance in the time whenever I released them. So it's possible. You're gonna have to be more of a trendy sort of person or someone that talks about recent events, but at the same time, you know, if you put some effort into your videos and you put some effort into pushing them out there, you'll get 10,000 views within a year, and you'll be able to apply for partnership and more than likely get it. As I said, you get a partnership, and you get a partnership, and you get a partnership. Everybody gets a partnership. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole YouTube and Patreon debacle. Completely overblown stories, completely overblown articles. Like, this is just unbelievable how crazy this got. I don't understand why people are so scared of this. I don't understand why people are screaming that YouTube is killing off channels, particularly smaller channels. Really, all this is, you know, is building a trust with YouTube through their partnership program. That's all it is. I mean, let's face it, you could still put links in the description. You know, if you want to put your Patreon link at the top of this description so everyone can see it, do it. No one's stopping you from doing that. They're only stopping you from putting it in things like the end cards or the little notes at the top right of the screen. That's all they're doing. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching and listening, guys. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe if you guys are new. If you guys want to continue the conversation. If you guys just want to help out the channel anyway. It's greatly appreciated. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. All the links are down in the video description below. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. My name's LILWOOLEY. Peace.